Hey, it's Chris the Toy Guy, and you're watching Delmarva Life.
I want his job. Put toys all the time. Say, yeah, this is a good one.
That would be a great job,
to have.
yeah. Well, you often hear that every person has a story, and so does every family. Like the family that owns Value Carpet One in Salisbury.
The story of how they started it's an interesting one. It dates back 3 generations, and as Brian Spiros explains this afternoon, it all stemmed from a man who loved to make deals with people.
Driving along Route 13 in Salisbury, you will notice Value Carpet One, a business that's been rooted here on Delmarva for quite some time.
This business almost goes 50 years. We started the family business in 1964. In fact, my grandfather started in 1964, and it was a construction company. We owned and built rental properties. Involved in commercial and residential construction.
Christopher Adams is the president of Value Carpet One. He says the story of how it all started goes back to 1972. It involves his grandfather. Christopher says he enjoyed making deals with people, and one deal in particular is what brought the family from construction into carpeting.
My grandfather built a home for someone, and they, in essence, said, okay, we'll take the house and we'll give you our carpet business. So my grandfather liked the idea of being able to, be able to supply his own homes with carpeting. So this was the beginnings of Value Carpet One.
And just like that, the family entered the flooring business. Back then, the store was called Value Carpet Mart.
My grandmother and grandfather are the founders and were very active in the business. My mother and my father came on probably in the early 70s, late 60s. So, my mother's always been the bookkeeper, handler of the money, counting the beans, if you will. My father in construction, so his background was in construction.
Christopher says his father Bill handled much of the installations, and in the late 70s, his aunt joined the business.
My aunt, so that's Cindy Pilchard, became involved in the company and ran the flooring store, and it became the most profitable part of our business going through the 80s and into the 90s. So she is still here today. A lot of people know Cindy. In fact, almost everybody in town knows Cindy.
Christopher and his brother also spent time in the store, but in a different capacity.
As a kid, I used to come through and play hide and seek with my brother in the carpet samples in this building. So it was kind of a family thing. It was just, we liked to come here. My dad and I used to get in the pickup truck and go to construction projects.
He eventually went off to college and got a degree in business management. Now, here he is, helping run a company that spans 3 generations, as is his brother, Buddy.
I think a family business gets along real well, when they have a good team atmosphere, if you will, that we work well together. And as a family, oftentimes the barriers come down and we get right to the issues, and these are challenges sometimes. So, we have learned to work well together. Family, there can be no better trustworthy relationship than those with the family.
Just like any business, things change over the years. Christopher says in 1995, the company joined a national cooperative, which changed the name to Value Carpet One.
Carpet One is a very interesting part of our history because in that period of time, as competition gets stronger, you look for ways to differentiate yourself in the marketplace. And what Carpet One did for us is gave us a common operating model with other stores in the country.
Christopher says new products and brands were then brought into the store, such as hardwood and tile, as well as window treatments.
We're a very diverse company. It's helped us get through difficult times when in flooring for the past 4 or 5 years, sales have been difficult. It's just an industry trend, and so having a good wide revenue stream, which we have today, is very important.
And even if the word wasn't already in their name, this is one operation that has built itself on one very important foundation: the value of family.
At the end of the day, we're here for one common goal, which is to be profitable and be successful. We've gone 3 generations, and we'll have the 4th coming along in another 10 or 15 years. So, these are easy lessons to learn.
Christopher says the Value Carpet One building was built by his grandfather in 1980 to house the business. Since then, it has been expanded considerably. Sadly, Christopher's father and grandfather passed away just a few years back, but Christopher's brother, mother, aunt, grandmother, and other family members are still very involved with the business.
Keeping it all in the family.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, something that you may do with your family, throw an annual holiday party. From the decorations to the drinks, we'll get some holiday party planning pointers from a pro next. And the season that just keeps getting sweeter. A little later, we'll announce today's winner in our Holiday Guide gift card giveaway.
But first, we have a seat waiting for you right here in the Delmarva Life audience. We would love to have you in Historic Studio D. If you'd like to book your seat, just visit delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab. It's right there on the right side of the page. Ticket tab under for our audience, or you can just call that number right there on your screen, 443-880-9116. Delmarva Life will be right back.